9 News Plus weather, sponsored by Carrier Colorado. The future of home comfort is here.
Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi. I hope you got your winter jacket. I hope you're ready for a little trip, a meteorological trip to the Arctic this week, because it is going to be cold, and it is going to stay cold basically all week long. And if you think it's cold today, it's only going to get worse, especially on Thursday and Friday. And that's also when we have a chance for some snow. But in the meantime, our big concern, it's the cold. And in the mountains, we're seeing a little bit of light snow. Looks like it's actually snowing, I'd call that light snow up there by the Eisenhower Tunnel. This is the view right before the tunnel on the east side of it, there, right outside of Loveland ski area. And I-70 doesn't appear to be too impacted by that snow. It doesn't really look like it's sticking all that much, but maybe a little bit of snow for some of the ski resorts. Meantime, here in Denver, a little bit of high-level cloud cover. This is out ahead of our next very weak storm system that'll drop on through later on tonight, and that will leave the potential for a dusting of snow in the Palmer Divide and in the nearby mountains. Here in Denver, we'll see a few flakes. That'll pretty much be all she wrote in terms of our snow chances here in town. The story, of course, it is the cold. It is not warm outside. It is not going to be warm outside, and there's that potential for a few flakes to accompany some of that cold weather, but make no mistake about it. Again, it is cold, and there is no real warm-up in sight. If you want temperatures to get close to average, you're going to have to wait until the end of next weekend. So you're going to wait a good 7 days for temperatures to even remotely feel like we're anywhere close to where they should be for the middle of November. It's pretty early for us to be as cold as we are. HD Doppler radar showing the reason why. It's a little bit on the cold side. Notice that snow out in Kansas. That's along a weak front that reinforced some of that cold air, and that is pushing in some of that Canadian air into our region and keeping things on the chilly side for us. And while we're still seeing a few flakes, a few spots, especially here in the southeast Colorado, most of us done with the snow for now, although again in the mountains, we'll still see a few flakes here and there for the rest of our day today. And then later on tonight, we get another little weak system that drops on through from Wyoming. That'll lead to the chance for a few flakes for us here in the Denver area and in the nearby mountains. And that's where we could see some snow that will be maybe accumulating to the tune of 1 to 3 inches for us and the high terrain, but most of even the mountains not looking at a ton of accumulation out of this upcoming storm system. Meantime, here in Denver, again, a few flakes after dark tonight, maybe between about 8 and 11 or so. Again, not a big deal. We'll probably end up with just a few flakes, maybe in some spots along the Palmer Divide. We'll see a little dusting of snow in a few areas. That will be pretty much all we are talking about with this storm system. Temperatures right now, this is, again, the story. 20s and 30s statewide. Our average high for today is in the mid-50s. I probably don't have to tell you we are not going to be anywhere close to the mid-50s today and anytime soon. In fact, I don't see anything in the next 7 to 10 days that's even remotely close to the mid-50s. So buckle on up. This is a long stretch of cold air. Temperatures about 20 degrees colder than this time yesterday here in Denver. Look at Springfield, 26 degrees colder than this time yesterday up there in Baca County. Into the mountains, different air mass, so about where we were this time yesterday. Today, temperatures here in Denver about 20 degrees below our seasonable norm. It's going to be partly cloudy, and we do have that deceptive sunshine. Probably a bit more cloud cover this afternoon compared to today, but still, again, a fair bit of cloud cover around for us. Hit or miss clouds. We'll have some peaks of sunshine, and we'll have some cloud cover, probably a bit more clouds than sun for the afternoon and early evening. Highs today, a lot of 30s for us across state, maybe some low 40s as you get into southern Colorado for the lucky spots, quote unquote, where we may top 40 degrees. Tonight, bundle on up, temperatures dropping into the teens. A stray flurry between, again, about 8 and 11 tonight, maybe 8 and midnight. We could see a stray flurry or two. Most of us, though, will not see any accumulation. Best chances for any dustings of snow would be on the divide, and then you get up into the mountains, and we get maybe 1 to 3 inches along and north of I-70. Tomorrow, 36 for us here in Denver, so about the same as today. No real changes. Maybe a flurry before you wake on up tomorrow morning. But tomorrow looking pretty similar to today, maybe a degree or two warmer in a few spots, but it's still very, very cold out there. Make no mistake about it. And again, if you're looking for some warmer air, well, maybe take a flight. I don't know what to tell you. End of the weekend, early next week is when we finally, maybe Sunday is going to feel like Maui compared to what it has been all week long. Look at Friday in particular. We get a kind of a glancing blow of what you may have heard this term called the polar vortex. We're going to get a little glancing blow from that on Friday and Saturday. We don't get the full thing. If we got the full thing, we'd be below zero, but we'll probably drop down. I'm telling you here, folks, I think one of those 2 mornings, either Friday or Saturday morning, even though it's not showing it there, I think we do get down in the single digits one of those 2 mornings, Friday or Saturday morning. And we haven't dropped down in the single digits or lower in the month of November since 2019. So this is going to be our coldest air mass for this time of year in some time. We don't often get that cold. And then notice those flakes. And it's Thursday night where it does look like we could see some impacts, maybe 1 to 3 inches of snow here in Denver, but the timing of it looks like it's going to be during the Thursday evening commute. And there's also the potential for some localized banding, some narrow areas of some heavier snow where we could see a couple of inches of accumulation here in Denver. And again, that could overlap with the evening commute. So something to watch out for on Thursday night. And that would be, again, that Thursday evening commute. In particular, looks like the time of potential impact. But as much as I know we tend to all kind of get caught up in the snow a little bit, the impact from this week will be the kind of consistency of the cold. It's not 1 or 2 cold days. That's normal this time of year. What's maybe a bit more atypical is just how long this cold streak is going to last. Again, all week long, and we don't even get close to average until Sunday or Monday. And that's when temperatures actually rebound into the upper 40s. That's still below average for this time of year, but will at least be a bit closer to where we should be for the middle to what will eventually be the end part of November. So hopefully it gives you a good idea about what to expect over the next few days. If not, meteorologist Keely Chalmers has an update for you coming up at 9 News at noon. Then Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabins in at 4 and 5. And then meteorologist Lauren Robinson's in at 6, 9, and 10 tonight on the 9 News family of networks. Once again, I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. Stay warm out there. Have a great rest of your Monday and a great rest of your week.